Hi, I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on today's car. Listen, man, in the world of iconic four-wheeled vehicles, I don't care what it is, from a Hummer to a Lamborghini to a DeSoto to whatever, there is no car that 99.9% of the people don't know what it is right away when they see it. And again, this one here says all that. It's a 67 Corvette Roadster. I probably don't need to tell you that. You already know, maybe you didn't know what year it was if you're just coming in late on the video. But this right here is the last year for this body style. It's considered the most iconic muscle car, sports car ever built. And it's still a spectacular, spectacular looking piece. Not to mention, this one in particular has almost every single option you could get from the factory, okay? And it's a great, great color. And I love to say the name over and over again, Sunfire Yellow. Sunfire, just sounds like the summer. It just sounds cool. And this has the Stinger hood on it. You know, a lot of people say, well, that's not correct for a 67 car. Well, depending on how late in the year the car is built, they ran out of standard hoods, and so they switched over to the Stinger hood. So depending on the year and the time that this was built, not the year, the time of the year that this was built, it could have had a Stinger hood on it. Whether it's right or it's wrong, it doesn't really matter because it looks great, and if you want a stock hood, we can easily put a stock hood on it. No big deal. Some people ask us to do that. Some people ask us to do the opposite. Anyway, having said all that, the reason I'm so excited about the car is because the way you see it is the way it would have rolled off the assembly line, right? It's a matching numbers 327 in the car. It's a matching numbers transmission in the car. It has the correct Sunfire yellow paint. It's got the correct bolt-on, which we call knockoff wheels. 67, you couldn't get the knockoffs anymore, but you could get the aluminum, so-called bolt-on wheels, all right? It's got the correct Redline polyglass tires, okay? These are not radial tires, they're the belted tires, so if you want to take it to a show, the car is looking as correct as it possibly could be. So, okay, so when we got this car, it was a beautiful restoration all around. I didn't love the paint. The paint was very average. The gaps and things, they didn't spend the time to fix those and do them properly. So I went ahead and I repainted the car. I overspent. My loss, your gain. I just didn't want to sell a car that you couldn't take to a car show and people go, wow, that's a really, really nice car. Where'd you get it? Maybe you say something nice about me, all right? Anyway, come on up. Sunfire yellow paint. What I want you to do is just take a second, all right? Arsh, come on in close for a second, because I want you to be able to read all of that right there. Not this, but this in the paint. And you can read it crystal clear, and that's, you're on the internet, you should be able to see exactly what time it is, you should see what kind of camera the guy's using as a reflection, everything about him. If you had to pull him out of a lineup for a mugshot, you should be able to tell him by the picture on the door of the car, okay? That's how paint's supposed to look, and that's what we have here. So for instance, like this right here, you can't feel the black paint on here because we painted the car yellow first, okay? Wet sanded it, applied the black on, wet sanded it one more time, then we cleared the whole thing so that this is silky smooth and you can't feel it. And the reason you don't want to feel that is because over time as you wash and wax this car, okay, this will start to tear. It'll start to get ugly, and then you have to repaint it all, and that's a pain, all right? The headlight doors work like they're supposed to, the wipers work like they're supposed to, and as we walk around this car, man, there are so many options and features on here. I'm telling you, if you're ever gonna get a Corvette, this is the way to get one. So for instance, let's go through it real quick. This has power steering. You forget to ask about power steering because today's modern car has that. Corvettes didn't come with power steering. Corvettes came with a 3-speed transmission standard, and most people don't know that. This has a 4-speed, all right? This has 4-wheel power disc brakes. Disc brakes were standard, but power disc brakes were not, okay? This has the upgraded horsepower engine in it, all right? All of that's been rebuilt. This has the knockoff bolt-on wheels, which we talked about. I call them knockoff bolt-ons because everybody knows them as knockoffs, but these aren't really knockoffs. In 67, you couldn't get that anymore. In 66, you could get a real knockoff wheel, but the government banned that in 67, so that's why these are bolt-ons. They still look fabulous, and these are very expensive. Let me tell you what, go out and buy yourself a set of bolt-on wheels with the hardware and a set of Redline reproduction tires like this. You'll spend $3 grand easy just on wheels and tires. So you can easily see how this could cost $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 just to restore. Matter of fact, call Tony's Corvettes or call another Corvette restoration shop and ask them what it costs right now to restore a Corvette, and they'll tell you they start in between $80,000 and $100,000, not including the car. Are you kidding me? That's why this is such a great deal. I mean, and then on top of it, this car has air conditioning. You know how few cars had air conditioning, not to mention how many are left with it? This has working cold air conditioning. This car has power windows, all right? It has a clock that works in the dash. You say, well, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is 2 years after this car was new, the clock didn't work, right? Now it's working. I'm just gonna give you an idea of the restoration, the kind of car that you're getting, okay? The underneath of this car is beautifully detailed and painted, okay? Satin black frame, all right? Anyway, let's take a peek under the hood. I'll show you some of the detail there. Let's take a peek under the hood. All right, so we talked about some of those things while we were outside, but for instance, the original 327 is still in the car. That's an important part when you're buying a Corvette, to have the original parts that came with the car, because then it has collector and investor quality pieces in it, all right? It's got the correct Harrison radiator in it. It's got the correct tower clamps. Okay, you say, well, what's the big deal about tower clamps? Well, the big deal about tower clamps is they're 10 times more expensive than a regular clamp, and if you're gonna do the detail stuff, you buy those and you do it. The AC blows nice and cold, correct style of that, detailed under the hood here, all right? And all the vacuum hoses, the wiring, transistor ignition over there, voltage regulator, all that stuff's been restored. It's just a beautifully done car, and it's really kind of a shame that you can't be here right now to check it out. So that's why I'm doing the video, so that you can have an idea of what you could possibly have in your driveway in just a day or so. Keep in mind too that this car comes with a 1-year warranty, all right? Nobody else offers that, and it includes free enclosed door-to-door shipping. Hello? Ask the other guy who's selling you a car if he includes that in his price. I don't think so. All right, so what makes this car a Corvette, and why everybody who sees it knows right away it's a Corvette? You could remove this emblem if you wanted to, and 99.9% of people will know right away, Corvette. Come on back here and I'll show you why. Look at the styling back here. The reverse lights are built into the middle, right? The bumper is split this way. This is a jet age still, right? Jet engines coming out the back for the taillights, tapered in like this, with these big fender arches to accentuate how big the tires and wheels would have been on the car. That's what really makes these cars so stylish and so cool, is some of the things you don't get to really see and you don't understand, but somebody points it out to you like they did for me. I'm just passing on what I learned along the way as well. All right, okay, check this out. I love this. This is a neat piece. This is the filler cap right in here. This has a locking gas cap on it too as well. It just fits beautifully. All right, so the stowed underneath here, okay, is your convertible top. All right, and then you have storage back here with a place for soft luggage. This has a beautiful soft top on it with, when it was restored, a date-coded top with the tag still on it. Come on back here, I'll show you this. Okay, this would have been the tag that the dealer had gotten on the top as reproduction, of course, because the car was restored. But that's a nice little, neat little piece right there. Okay, look how clear the window is. The top's like virtually brand new. But I will tell you this car makes for a great car with the top up as well, because with the air conditioning and power windows and things like that, you don't have to reach across and roll stuff up. You flip the AC on, and it can be an August day or an August night, and you stay nice and cool. Some nice stuff in here. Okay. Oops, I didn't close my door. Little stuff like this, you know, the vent windows work, you know, things like the power windows work, even the clock works here in the dash, okay? This has the AM, FM stereo in it, full gauges, showing 38,125 miles. I don't know that to be true or not. It's just a really nice driving, solid car that just has great options. I've never had a Corvette with this many options on it before, and it's really nice to see something like this, not to mention I just love the color. The other thing too, if you want us to, what we do for a lot of people is install a nice sound system in the glove box. So we can install, for not a lot of money, a nice Alpine digital sound system, which has satellite, your iPod, iTunes, whatever it is you have music-wise, and you stream it from your phone. So it doesn't have to be wired, it's not in sight, it keeps the dash looking stock, and then you get all your great tunes as well. So we talked about 160 miles per odometer, 7,000 RPM tach, a little stuff like that. But this is all well and good, but what you really care about is feeling this, okay, in your hand. This has the correct original style shifter. This is a big deal. You say, well, why is that a big deal? You could get that. No, you can't get that. Somebody has to rebuild this for you. They don't really sell it anymore. And it pops out of reverse exactly like it's supposed to, because the reverse lockout works. Look, it won't let you go any farther, and you click it over, and it allows you to go in. I've rambled on about that. How about I do this for you? Because the side pipe's really where the music is. It sure as hell isn't what's coming out of my mouth. Anyway, let me fire it up for you so you can hear it. All right, so let's close up the video on this car here. Original Sunfire yellow paint, beautiful paint not to mention, okay? Matching numbers, 327. Matching numbers, Muncie, okay? Independent rear suspension, four-wheel disc brakes, okay? Power windows, air conditioning, power steering, power disc brakes, all right? On and on and on, side pipes, alloy wheels, Redline tires. That's how these cars get to be really, really expensive. But in this case here, this is a beautifully done car, okay? That's just right. And the reason why it's just right is it's priced right, it's investment grade because it has all of those things on it, and it's cool looking, and you can drive it, man. And that's really my goal, is for you to get in this thing, take somebody, and go for a drive. Or on a Friday, man, drive this thing to work, all right? Leave work, call whoever it is that you want to call that you're on the way home, and then turn off your cell phone. Turn the phone off, man. Get in this thing, go for a drive. I'm telling you, it's therapy. It will change your life. Call us, 301-816-1000. We'll tell you all about this 67 Corvette Roadster.